just how we did with the offense and I guess the coaches, today we'll be grading the defense. I'm going to try to go pretty fast through this one, right, these next two videos really, because I just want to move on already. I'm done with last season. Want to move on to the future, what's ahead, like free agents, mock drafts, and all that other cool stuff. So I'm going to try to move through this one pretty quick, but this one's kind of triggering. And I'm pretty sure you guys know why it's triggering or why it would piss someone off, But anyways, let's get to grading these players. Start off with the front seven. I'm just, calling it the front seven because, players kind of play everywhere, mostly Jadeveon and JJ sometimes, but yeah. Let's start off with JJ Watt. JJ Watt, I'm giving him an A on the season. I mean, he came back from the injury. He performed well. 16 sacks. I mean, not many people were expecting that. And if someone, like if I would have came out before the season and said, JJ Watt will have 16 sacks, people would have laughed at me and called me stupid. I mean, they still do, but they would have done it some more. But yeah, I think JJ had a hell of a season. And hopefully he's healthy moving forward next season again. He did have a minor knee surgery earlier. Well, when you're watching this video yesterday, he had a minor knee surgery. So, I mean, it's nothing major. So he'll be good to go. One thing that does trigger me, and it kind of goes with the next guy I'm going to be talking about, Whitney Mercilus. I'm giving Whitney Mercilus a C+, and it's not on Whitney. Not on Whitney at all. It's on Romeo Crennel. And I feel like I've been saying this for a while now. And at this point, I'm pretty sure I'll just be repeating what I've been saying over and over and over and over. But Whitney Mercilus was played out of position pretty much for most of the season. I mean, this guy should not be dropping back into coverage. And again, some people I've seen, oh man, Whitney Mercilus sucks, cut him. It's not on Whitney. I mean, you can't expect a player to perform well when he's being put out of position, and I feel like that was the theme for the Texans defense this season. Like, it wasn't just Whitney that wasn't, put in bad spots. There was other players that, were put in bad spots later on down the line. And then you have Clowney, of course. I'll give Clowney an A, and a lot of people hate Clowney, but Clowney, he's a disruptive force. And the one game that sticks to me when it comes to Clowney is that Eagles game. Literally, on defense, no one but Clowney showed up. Jadeveon Clowney was the only one out there making plays, constantly putting pressure on Nick Foles. And that's who Clowney is, man. Clowney is not going to show up on the stat sheet. You got to put on the game film to see the true impact of Jadeveon Clowney. Now, these three. It's frustrating, man. It's really frustrating because I believe combined they had like 30 sacks between JJ, Mercilus, and Clowney. Your 3-star pass rushers. As Texans fans, we've been waiting since 2014. We've been waiting. We've been waiting for JJ and Clowney and Mercilus to all be healthy on the field at the same time. And we finally got it this season, Like, we were expecting these guys to just go after the quarterback, like, every single play and be in the backfield constantly eating. Instead, we got pretty much nothing, literally. I mean, it was rare, especially down the stretch of the season, probably starting with that Browns game. Like, we hardly got any pressure on quarterbacks. It's baffling. I mean, you probably have the best pass rushing trio in the NFL, and these are the results. And that's why I say this is triggering, you know? Like, it's frustrating. Whitney Merciless should be in the spot J.J. Watt played this season. Jadeveon should be in the spot he was playing at this season. And then J.J. Watt, you should move him inside so you can pass rush. We saw J.J. rush the passer from the inside in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. It wasn't until like 2015 that really J.J. started kicking outside. And he's back again. And this season, that's all he did. All he did was play pure edge rusher. When J.J. Watt, we've seen him easily take on guards, take on double teams on the inside. He used to do that all the time. And he can still do that. The Texans need pressure from the inside. Quarterbacks literally had all day to throw on the Texans. Literally. Our secondary is already bad enough. But then you add on this. Like, God, it's frustrating. But anyways, let's move on. DJ Reader, I'm giving him a B+. I mean, the guy does what he has to do. He does his job. Eats up blocks, stops the run. People are expecting sacks from DJ Reader. But DJ Reader is a true nose tackle. Nose tackles aren't supposed to get sacks. They're just supposed to eat up blocks, stop the run. And he did that. Next guy, Brandon Dunn. I'm giving him a B. Brandon Dunn, same thing with DJ Reader. He's kind of a nose tackle, slightly smaller. But, yeah, he eats up blocks, stops the run. Next guy, this one's frustrating. Christian Covington, probably your best interior pass rusher. That's not J.J. Watt. Didn't play that much, but when he did, you know, he made his impact felt. I mean, I'm giving him an A for the time he did play. And, you know, it's frustrating, man. Like, okay, this is the Texans. Their D-line this season, or like, you know, their like front four consisted of Jadeveon Clowney, Brandon Dunn, DJ Reader, and J.J. Watt. Like, how in the world are you supposed to get some pressure from the inside when you have two straight up run stopping, block eating players in the middle? Christian Covington should have been rotating in more. You can even make that same case for Angelo Blackson, who I do think is also another good underrated player for us. I am also giving him a B+, because when he did play, he also made his impact felt. Now, these next guys, Carlos Watkins, Joel Heath, they didn't really play much, but Carlos Watkins, another guy that can bring some pressure from the inside, wasn't used. It's annoying. Like, Romeo Cano would rather go out there and have a bunch of run-stopping defensive linemen out there consistently instead of properly subbing his players in and out because, you know, he's lazy, I guess you could say. Okay, next, guys. Now we're moving on to the linebackers. We got Benardrick McKinney. McKinney felt like in that Colts game, he was the playoff one. He was the only one that was playing with passion. Like, he was out there actually getting pissed, frustrated. You saw it a few times too. He was yelling at the guys. And McKinney, he had a pretty good season. I mean, it ended up with a Pro Bowl, and I was really shocked he got a Pro Bowl nod. I mean, McKinney's pretty underrated. And again, a lot of people expect McKinney to, you know, get sacks, get all these INTs, you know, like, but that's not McKinney. McKinney is a run thumper. Like, he is straight up there to stop the run. That's all he's there for. If you put McKinney in coverage, yeah, that's not good. He's probably going to get beat. But that's why we have who we have next to him, Zach Cunningham, which I'm giving him a B+, because he did start pretty slow and then he got injured there, like in the middle. But he finished the season strong, really good, looking like the guy that we drafted. a guy that can play sideline to sideline, a guy that can cover, a guy who could do all sorts of things. I mean, Cunningham and McKinney is going to be a great linebacker duo for the foreseeable future. Next guy, Dylan Cole. I'm giving him a C. Again, Romeo Crennel didn't play him much for whatever reason. Again, lazy, doesn't want to sub people in and out. That's the only explanation I have for it. But I mean, Romeo Crennel would rather have Whitney Merciless drop back into coverage and sub in Dylan Cole and have him drop back into coverage, even though Dylan Cole, and it's been shown that he is our best pass covering tight end. He's our best cover linebacker, but Romeo Crennel don't care, he doesn't. And the last guy, Duke Ejiofor. This one too. Duke Ejiofor should have been rotating in with Jadeveon Clowney and J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless if he was being used properly. But, you hardly ever saw him out there. And again, it's on Romeo Crennel being lazy and not wanting to sub players in and out. He doesn't want to give his players breaks, even though you kind of have to so they're fresh for the fourth quarter or so they're better off for the fourth quarter. But, I guess that don't matter for Crennel. And as far as Ejiofor goes, I'm not going to give him a grade because, in my opinion, he didn't play that much as he should have. Now, the whole front seven, I'm giving them a B. Stopping the run literally all season, they were dominant up until that playoff game. Pass rushing wise, they got to do better. But a lot of that falls on coaching, on Romeo Crennel. It's up to him to put his players in position to succeed. Like Whitney Merciless, Dylan Cole, Christian Covington. You got to put your players in position to succeed. Now let's move on to the secondary. Jonathan Joseph. I'm giving him a C on the season. I mean, early on he was pretty good against the, Brock Osweilers, Josh Allens, the Blake Bortles of the world. But then when he got to play the Andrew Lucks, the Nick Foles, Baker Mayfield, even Sam Darnold, who isn't that good, Joseph straight up got exposed. I mean, he's old. What do you expect? I mean, you shouldn't expect Joseph to really do much. I mean, at this point, the Texans really should be forcing him into retirement. And Joseph should know that he's 34, about to be 35. He should retire. I mean, he's going to be back next season, unfortunately. But, yeah, he's old. Sharice Wright, D+. Sharice Wright, again, just like Joseph, he'd get beat here and there against like the mediocre quarterbacks, like the Bortles and all those guys. But then once he played better quarterbacks, he would get beat consistently. I'm giving him a D+. Next guy, Aaron Colvin, I'm giving him a C. I mean, he only played a few games, and I think he got hurt against the Colts. He really started only 3 games, well, 4 games, I guess. He started 4 games, and he looked pretty good those games. And then he got hurt, and they never really played him again. But I mean, they said, and this is just what they said. I don't know if it's true, but that's what they're saying. Apparently, Colvin's injury never fully healed, so that's why they didn't play him. But I don't believe it. I think they just don't like Colvin. So I'm giving Aaron Colvin a C. Kevin Johnston, he didn't really play, so I'm giving him an F. Because, I mean, when he did play, he looked terrible. And then you have Kayvon Webster in F. I mean, this guy probably played like 6 plays all season, and he got hurt twice. Yeah, this guy's not coming back. Okay, next guy. Kareem Jackson when he's at corner. So this is just a corner version of Kareem Jackson. I'm giving him a C-. I mean, we all knew this. Kareem Jackson's not a corner anymore. And when he was playing corner, he looked bad. There's a reason Kareem Jackson wasn't voted All-Pro. There's a reason Kareem Jackson wasn't even voted as a Pro Bowler. Because Romeo Crennel took him from his safety spot where he was doing good and then moved him to corner. But I mean, did we really have any other options? To be honest, I mean, we were like really bad at that position this season. Now, then we got Tyrann Mathieu also at the nickel corner position. So, later on in the season, Tyrann Mathieu played nickel corner. a position he's not really good at, and we saw it in Arizona when he was a safety. He was good. When he was at nickel corner, he wasn't good. I'm giving him a C for that. I mean, again, you can't really blame him. He was not in position to succeed. Again, theme of the defense this season. You know, players out of position. And then the next guy, Justin Reed. I'm giving Justin Reed an A. He did have a few rookie moments here and there throughout the season. But man, we got to steal Justin Reed. He's a complete steal. The guy's going to be a stud. Andre Howe, I'm giving him a B+. Again, when Andre Howe played, I mean, he did good. Andre Howe's a pure cover safety. He's not a guy who can come down and, you know, make a tackle, or a guy who should be playing near the line of scrimmage. He's probably our, I want to say best, probably our second best pure cover safety. Next to Justin Reed. Justin Reed's our best all-around safety, in my opinion. He can cover, he can come down to the line of scrimmage and tackle. He could do anything. So I am giving Andre Howe a B+. I think he did a hell of a job. Now Kareem Jackson at safety, A+. The guy was amazing. You guys saw it early on in the season. He was out there balling out. The guy would have been an all-pro this season, probably even a Pro Bowler, even though nobody cares about those. He would have been, you know, he would have been up there. He would have been talked about for the rest of the season. But, you know, unfortunately, injuries, bad players, bad play made Romeo Crennel move him to corner. And then Tyrann Mathieu at the safety position. I'm giving him a B+. He was also performing better when he was at, you know, that safety spot. But I do think Kareem was better. But I do think both were really good. But, you know, again, theme of the season, out of position players. Now, the last guy I kind of want to talk about is, well, for the secondary, last guy I want to talk about is Jermaine Kelly. I've seen people say, what about Jermaine Kelly? If you're expecting a 7th round pick to come in here and, you know, be a solution for your secondary issues, your corner issues, and then, I mean, you might as well throw the next season away, because that's not going to happen. This guy's probably just going to be a special teamer if he even makes a team next season. Now, last 3 guys I want to talk about, this isn't really defense, but it's just special teams. So let's start off with Ka'imi Fairbairn. Fairbairn, I'm giving him an A+. I mean, the guy made a bunch of field goals, led the league in scoring, and he did miss some field goals, but that was on Trevor Daniel, the punter, who messed up the hold. So, Ka'imi Fairbairn, you know, I thought he was kind of suspect, you know, especially after last season, but looking at it this season, we have a franchise kicker. Next guy, Trevor Daniel. I'm giving Trevor Daniel an A- because of the holds that he messed up, and every now and then he would have a bad punt, but for the most part, Trevor Daniel was pretty damn good. Better than Shane Lechler. I know a lot of people were upset when Lechler got cut, but it was shown this season it was the right move because Trevor Daniel has a leg. And the last guy, John Weeks, I'm giving him an A+++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++ because, you know, John Weeks has been the most consistent player on this team for ages now, it feels like. He's a top-notch long snapper, probably the best in the business. I mean, he's irreplaceable. I mean, we got to do a better job of surrounding John Weeks with some talent, because whenever the Texans lose in the playoffs, you're not just letting the fans down, you're letting John Weeks down, and you don't want to let down John Weeks. Anyways, that's all I have for today. I mean, it wasn't really that short of a video, but I did shorten it a bit compared to the other videos. Other videos were 20 minutes plus. This one was under 20 minutes, but, you know, we're almost getting there. We're getting past last season and moving on to next season, where I want to be. You know, I want to talk about all these free agency, you know, people we can get, mock drafts, and all that other cool stuff. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys for today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.